What about now? Did I have the wrong? The mic was plugged into the wrong ends were plugged in. Okay, great. Thank you. Oh, teamwork, yes. Great. Okay, so welcome. I'm going to step back so we can see how the volume of the music is and to make sure that you are, in fact, hearing me through this mic right here. So when I'm back here, can you hear me clearly? Is the balance of the music okay? How is it for you, my friends? Is it coming through? I know sometimes it can get a little choppy, so I just want to make sure everything is good to go before we get started. Okay, great. Wonderful. Great. Okay, well, very warm welcome, everyone. Thank you for choosing to be here. All of us together in community practicing is such a gift. For anyone that I'm getting to meet for the first time, my name is Selena Lael. This is a 60-minute Vinyasa yoga asana session. And we always start the 60 minutes after this little intro. If you need to leave if you need to leave before we complete, I do highly encourage you to take time for Shavasana so you can have this integration if you're not going to stay for the whole practice. And what else? This is listed as an intermediate practice because I will not be breaking down all of the cues the way that I would for a beginner session. Everyone is welcome to be here. My invitation is always the same. Honor your body, take care of your body, regardless of how advanced you think you are or how long you've been practicing. Maybe your body feels like it wants more rest today or doesn't want to do a certain pose. Honor your body, yes? If you're ever uncomfortable with a pose, or if you are ever not confident with something, you can just watch. You can take a resting pose. You can take any pose that you would like to or that you feel comfortable taking. So this is really about you and your experience of yourself rather than trying to look like me or do what I'm doing. Yes? And yoga in its essence is union. It is not about only the physical postures. It's not about sexy abs. Yoga, this union with our own beloved self, this awakening to the oneness of life that we are. So honor yourself, honor your body. Yes, perfectly okay to be a beginner here, Rika. I give certain cues, but if there's ever something that just doesn't feel comfortable, or again, if you don't feel confident trying it, or if you're just kind of like, that makes no sense to me, then just leave it. Yeah. Rather than straining or potentially hurting yourself, just maybe watch. That's also, a nice way if you're more of a beginner. You may watch part of the session just to even see what these cues mean, because if you're not familiar with them, they can sound pretty strange sometimes. Although I tend not to go for too many of those flowery cues. No judgment, but I like to keep it basic. So, all of that being said, I welcome you just as you are. I invite to have a yoga mat. Any props that you'd like to use, please use them anytime throughout the session. What else? I have many recordings here on the app. I have 2 courses, yogic practices for a peaceful life, that is different meditation and self-awareness techniques to guide us deeper into the bliss of our being. And also Awaken My Heart, a guide to living with self-love, is also available on the app. And then, of course, you can find all of my live sessions, all of these recordings that I'm speaking about, and stay connected all through my profile page here on the app. So all of that is there. Okay, I think that's it. So again, our 60 minutes begins now after this little intro. I invite you to come to the mat and let's start in Shavasana today. So I invite you to lie down on the back, take the feet to the edges of the mat, so a wider position. Arms alongside the body with the palms facing up. Take some slow, deep breaths. As you inhale, feel your belly and your chest rising up toward the sky. And as you exhale, feel the whole back body melting down into the earth. Breathe in and out of the nose. Feel a space between the teeth, maybe the lips as well. The jaw softens down. Start to welcome your mind to this moment. Really feel this experience of the body moving, the body breathing. And as you continue to breathe, become aware of your intention for today. What is your intention? We're creating a sankalpa. And once you feel into what your intention is for your practice today or for your life or maybe for someone else, I invite you to repeat it in your mind in the present tense. I am peaceful. I am strong. My dear one is healed. The world is a peaceful place. Create your sankalpa as if your intention has already come to fruition. Take a few more slow, deep breaths. Really feel the contact of your body and the floor beneath you. Feel your body becoming heavier, letting go even more. Inhale, reach the arms up along the ears, point the toes. Oh, take a nice stretch. For me, it's morning. I know for some of you, it's evening. Let's just stretch. Beautiful. Bring the feet a little closer together. Bend the right knee. Interlace the hands in front of the right knee and hug the knee into the chest. Feel your right hip relaxing down into the mat. And as always, my friends, if there's ever some kind of a technical issue, just throw a whole bunch of emojis into the chat because I can't read your comments from this far away. Thank you. Let's roll through the right ankle. Change directions. We'll come into a little half happy baby here. Allow your right knee to fall out to the right and then reach up for the outside of the right shin or maybe the outer edge of the right foot. So the outside of the foot or the shin. Maybe the knee is bent with the sole of the foot up to the sky. Keep the left hip rooted here. Maybe you gently pull that foot down. Beautiful. Release, hug the knee into the chest again, and extend the leg down the mat. Hug the left knee up into the chest. Interlace the hands. Ooh, I feel it on this side. Roll through the left ankle. Slow your breathing down again. Notice if it's become shallow or fast. Slow, deep breaths. Roll your ankle the other direction. And then again, half happy baby. Allow the left knee to fall over to the left if possible. Reach your hand up for the outside of the shin or the outer edge of the left foot. Maybe the ankle comes over the knee. Maybe the sole of the foot is up to the sky. Keep rooting that right hip down. Breathe. Lovely. Release the foot or the shin. Hug the knee into the chest. Release the foot down. Bend the right knee. Plant the right foot down. We're going to wake up the core a little bit here. So if you are still working on your core or you feel like you'd like a little support to start today, lift your hips and then place your hands underneath your hips with the palms facing down, kind of like in this shape underneath your hips. So you have this little bit of support of your hands underneath your glutes to support us here. Option to have this, or you can just have the arms alongside the body wherever you are today. Press your low back down. Feel like your navel is hugging in toward your spine. Reach the legs up. Now we have two options here. Let's first flex the feet. Again, hug the navel in toward the spine. Press your low back down. One option is to lower one leg at a time. Actually, we'll start this way together. So hug the navel in, gaze is up to the sky, relax your neck, lower your left leg down, hover the heel, and then we're going to exhale to bring the leg back up. Inhale, lower the right leg down, hover the heel above the mat, and then exhale to bring it up. And we'll just alternate like this. Go at a pace that works for your body. Slower is better. Breathe in as you lower. Breathe out as you draw the leg up. Low back keeps rooting down into the mat. Relax the jaw. Relax the upper body as much as you can. See if you can start to really wake up the mid body here. We'll go one more time on the right side. And then bend your knees, rock your hips a little side to side. So for this next round, and you can always do this with a bent leg too. You're always welcome to have that leg that's coming down a little bent if you're still really working on your support and stability here. Okay, so option to do your alternating, otherwise we're going to play with both legs at the same time. Extend the legs up to the sky, flex the feet, legs are closer together. Press the low back down, draw the navel toward the spine. And again, you can have the hands tucked here. This is a really good pose actually to have the hands here. Upper body's relaxed, relax the jaw, hug the navel in. Start your alternating legs, or if you'd like to join me, keep the legs together and let's lower them down to about 45 degrees. Keep pressing your low back down. Breathe. And then we'll lower the legs down a little more. Keep pressing out through the heels, really active legs here. Keep pressing the low back down. And then hover the legs above the floor. Keep pressing out through the heels. And then we'll exhale to drive the legs back up to the ceiling. Very good. We'll do this one more time. If you're feeling a little adventurous, you can bring your hands out. Otherwise, keep your hands where they are, especially if you have any pain in the low back. Let's lower down 45 degrees. Keep pressing that low back down. And if you're still alternating, you can come to a pause if you're complete, or you can continue until we finish this last round. I've got all the shakes going on. I haven't done this one in a long time. We don't ever do this together here, do we? Lower down a little more. Keep pressing out through the heels. I'm like on a vibration board. Strong, active body. Lower down a little more. Let's hover the heels. Really press out through the heels here. And if you want to play a little more with me, curl up through your upper spine. Point your fingers down toward your feet. Keep your mid back in contact with the mat. Whew. Really press it out, press it out. Heels are off the ground. Very nice, everyone. And then lower the hands. Let's all drive the legs back up on an exhale. And then allow both knees to fall wide. Reach up for the outer shins or the outer feet coming into happy baby. Rock a little side to side here. Let's give those hip flexors a little bit of a rest. Breathe. Very nice, my friends. Release the feet or the shins. Bring the knees together. Hands are in front of the knees or behind the knees. We're going to curl up and roll up through the spine here. So practice just rocking yourself up. Maybe you hover when you sit up and then roll back down. Rock back up and roll down. Continue. It's like a little massage on the muscles on either side of the spine. And then we'll come all the way up to a seat, cross the ankles, rock yourself forward. Let's come to downward facing dog. Draw the navel toward the spine. Look forward, see that the creases of the wrists are parallel to the top of the mat. Hug it in. Bend one knee at a time, reach the opposite heel back. Remember to draw the navel toward the spine here so that we are supporting and protecting the low back. Wonderful. Reach the heels down. If there's tension in the back body or the chest, bend your knees, press your chest back toward your thighs. Keep the knees bent, hug the navel in. If the heels can reach the mat comfortably, pull them apart slightly to activate the legs. We'll all press the chest back toward the thighs. Keep rooting down through the base of the index fingers and thumbs. Feel like the crown of the head is reaching toward the fingers and the shoulders are pulling up away. Inner elbows roll forward, guiding the shoulder blades down the back. Very nice, everyone. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop to the top of the mat, fold forward. Draw the navel toward the spine, bend the knees, reach the arms up alongside the ears so we start to come into a flat back. Hug the navel in, press into the heels to rise all the way up. Palms touch. Exhale to come to the heart. Lovely. Big toes point forward, draw the navel in, lengthen up, palms touch. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Option to bend the knees. Inhale, half lift and lengthen, flat back, weight in the toes, shoulders pull back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step, or lightly hop back, high plank, and then lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Come up, cobra, or upward facing dog. Make your way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. 3 slow, deep breaths. Hug the navel in. Find all of your little cues here. Keep rooting down through the base of the index fingers and thumbs. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop to the top of the mat. Fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Draw the navel toward the spine. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, swan dive. Bend the knees here if you're still working on core strength. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, fingertips to shins. Let's stay here a moment. Micro bend in the knees. Draw the navel in. pull the shoulders back. So rather than hunching here, we're lengthening. If your arms are really bent, you might find it helpful to straighten your arms. Now, if there's strain when you do this anywhere in the body, keep a bend in the knees and the arms. If it's comfortable to be here, make sure you have all this activity in the core. And let's let the gaze be down at the floor so the back of the neck is long. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step or lightly hop back. And then lower down. You can use your knees or move through your push-up. Come all the way to the belly. Elbows pull back. They stay in close. Inhale, curl up through Cobra, Bhujangasana. The pubic bone is in contact with the mat. We don't lift it up here. If you're following this, of course, you're always welcome to do what you choose. Make your way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 slow, deep breaths. So as always, I lead an alignment-based practice that focuses on the anatomy and how we can support our bodies. It doesn't mean it's always right. It doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean something else is wrong. It's just here for you to explore and see how it makes you feel. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop to the top of the mat, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, draw the navel to the spine, option to bend the knees. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up, lengthen. Exhale, swan dive, long spine. Weight in the toes. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step, or lightly hop back, high plank, and then again to the knees or through chaturanga. And then if you're coming up, upward facing dog, the thighs are off of the mat. We're pressing into the tops of the feet, and the chest is reaching forward. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog, 3 slow, deep breaths. Draw the navel in, shoulders pull up away from the ears. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop, fold, press into the feet, option to bend the knees, rise up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, half lift and lengthen, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step, or lightly hop back, and then lower down through your vinyasa, or just come to downward facing dog if you'd like to skip the transition. Big toes touch. Inhale the right leg up and back. Hips are square. Draw the navel toward the spine. Crown of the head reaches toward the fingers. Bend the knee, stack the hips. Toes fall behind. Lift the knee a little higher. Inhale, lengthen, square the hips. Option to stay here, or exhale, knee to nose, high plank. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left elbow. One more round if you like. Inhale, exhale, lengthen. Exhale, right elbow. Lengthen. Exhale, left. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, softly step the right foot through between the hands. Lower the back heel, toes are slightly turned out, hips are square to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise up. Virabhadrasana 1. Draw the navel in. Front knee is slightly bent here. Draw those lower ribs in rather than popping out. Draw the navel in. Lower that, lengthen that spine. Beautiful. Open out. Virabhadrasana 2. Back toes turn out a little more. And now the hips are square to the left side of the mat. Sink a little deeper into the front knee. Maybe the ankle is below the knee here. Stick your tailbone out behind you and then tilt it under, lengthen. Crown of the head is over the pelvis. Gaze is over right middle finger. Turn the palms up to the sky. Inhale, rise up, straighten the front leg. Exhale, sink down, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sink. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink down. One more. Inhale. Exhale, beautiful. Drop that right hand down to the floor if you can. If you need to stay on the thigh here, that's perfectly okay. Sink it down. Maybe the palm comes all the way down. And then let's bring the left arm up to the sky. Breathe. Press into the feet. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, windmill down, lift the back heel, step the right leg back, high plank, move through your vinyasa, or just come to downward facing dog. Big toes touch. Inhale the left leg up and back, hug the navel in toward the spine. Press the chest back toward the right thigh. Bend the knee, stack the hips. Lift the knee a little higher. Inhale, lengthen, square the hips. Option to stay here or exhale, knee to nose, high plank. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right elbow. One more round if you choose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, softly step left foot through between the hands. Lower the right heel, right toes are slightly turned out. Inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. Hips are square to the top of the mat. Draw the navel in. Sink into the front knee. Beautiful. Open out, Virabhadrasana 2. You may need to widen your stance a little. Back toes are still slightly turned in. Hips are square to the right side of the mat. Sink it down. Stick your tailbone out behind you and then tilt it under to lengthen the low back. Crown of the head is over the pelvis. Gaze is over left middle finger. Palms turn up. Inhale, rise up, straighten the front leg. Exhale, sink down, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale. Exhale, bend into the front knee. Keep that length in the spine. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe here. Beautiful. Bring that left elbow down to the thigh or all the way down to the inside of the foot if that's comfortable. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Soften the face, the lips. Beautiful. Press into the feet. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Lift the back heel. Step the left leg back. Lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 slow, deep breaths. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop to the top of the mat, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. I'm going to grab a block for demo purposes. If you don't have a block, don't worry, we have options. All right. Again, if you don't have a block, no worries. I'll show you another variation here. If you have your block, you can have it at the front of the mat. At the top of the mat, palms touch. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive, draw the navel in. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step, or lightly hop back, move through your flow, or just come to downward facing dog. Big toes touch. Inhale the right leg up and back, bend the knee, stack the hips, open. Inhale, lengthen, square the hips. Option is stay here, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale. Exhale, softly step right foot through between the hands. Lower the back heel. Inhale. Virabhadrasana 1. Hips are square to the top of the mat. Open out, Virabhadrasana 2. Hips are square to the left side of the mat. Beautiful. Sink it down. Palms turn up. Inhale. Rise up. Exhale, sink. Inhale. Can you bring a little bit of maybe grace or flow into this movement? Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Hand comes down to the inside of the foot. Reach the left arm up. Of course, you can stay here. Yes, elbow on thigh. Perfectly okay. Reach that left arm down toward your foot. Press into the feet. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, release the arms down. Heel toe the back foot in closer as we prepare for Ardha Chandrasana, balancing half moon pose. If you have your block, take your block to the outside of your right foot and further forward. Your right toes are pointing straight ahead here. So rather than a turn in or out, straight ahead toward the top of the mat. If you don't have a block, no issue. Bend your right knee as much as you need to bring your hand down. And if that doesn't work, feel free just to skip this, watch, or do something else. Left hand is to the hip. Draw the navel toward the spine. Press into the right foot, lift the right leg. Now, before we do anything else, flex the foot. So pull the left toes up toward the face so this leg becomes active. Then begin to stack the hips. Left hip, excuse me, I need to move this mic. Left hip stacks on top of right hip. Maybe the chest starts to open to the left. The drishti, the gaze is focused on one spot on the floor. If it feels like you'd like to play here, you can reach the left arm up. Maybe lift the left leg a little higher. And if you'd like to play with your balance, you can turn your gaze over to the left, or maybe even all the way up to your left thumb. Breathe deeply. Beautiful, everyone. If you'd like to play a little bit here, bend your left knee, reach for the outer edge of your left foot. Make sure there's a micro bend in that standing leg, and begin to kick the foot into the hand if you have it comfortably. Breathe. If you have the foot, gracefully release it, extend the leg out, and we'll all bring both hands down to the block or to the floor. Drop your left hip down, standing splits. Hips are square. Lift your left leg up. Maybe the forehead comes toward the shin. Maybe one or both hands come behind the right ankle. One more breath here. Bend the right knee. Gracefully step your left leg all the way back. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, windmill down. Lift the back heel. Step the right leg back. Move through your vinyasa. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Big toes touch. Inhale the left leg up and back. Bend the knee. Stack the hips. Inhale, square the hips, lengthen the leg. Option to stay here, or exhale, knee to nose, high plank. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale. Exhale, softly step the left foot through between the hands. Lower the back heel. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Hips are square to the top of the mat. Draw the navel in. Open out, Virabhadrasana 2. Hips are square to the right side of the mat. Sink it down. Tailbone drops down. Palms turn up. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale. Exhale, bend. Relax the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Keep dropping that tailbone down rather than sticking the booty out here. Last one. Was that the last one? Maybe. Elbow to thigh if you wish, or bring the hand down to the inside of the foot. Right arm reaches up. Breathe. Press into the feet. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, release it down. Straighten the front leg. Heel toe the back foot in. So you have a shorter stance. And if you have your block to the outside of the left foot and forward. So you have this space between the hip and the shoulder. Yes, so rather than being here, we have this space. So I'm balanced. The idea here is that we're using weight transfer. So rather than straining muscularly like this, I'm using the weight of my body like a tree trunk. The weight is pouring down. So it's bone stacking rather than muscular effort. Yes. And of course, if you don't have a block, you can just use your hand. Draw the navel toward the spine, right hand to the hip. Wipe your forehead if you're like me and need to. Left hand comes down to the block or to the floor. Bend that left knee as much as you need. Press into the left leg. And then before you lift the leg all the way, flex your right foot. Activate your right leg so it's very strong. Then begin to stack the hips. Lift the leg a little higher. Beautiful. Drishti is focused on the floor, maybe the wall. If you're comfortable here, maybe the right arm reaches up. Keep flexing the right foot. Keep that leg really active here. Beautiful. Imagine that you're lifting up out of that bottom hip rather than dropping all the weight down. How can you lift up toward the sky here? And then if you'd like to play a little, bend your right knee. Reach for the outer edge of the foot. And if you're here comfortably, kick the foot into the hand. One more breath here. If you have the foot, gracefully release. We'll all release both hands down to the floor or the block. Drop your right hip down so the hips are square. Lift your right leg up, standing splits. Hug the navel toward the spine. Maybe the forehead comes toward left shin. Maybe one or both hands come behind the ankle. Lift the leg a little higher. Relax the neck. Beautiful. Bend the front knee. Reach the right leg all the way back as gracefully as you can. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, windmill down. Lift the back heel, step the left leg back, move through your vinyasa. 3 slow, deep breaths in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Beautiful. Bring the knees down, take the big toes together. Sink the hips back to the heels. Balasana, child's pose. Relax the head down. Relax the shoulders. Breathe deeply. Recall your sankalpa. Repeat it in your mind. Lovely. Rise up to all fours. Bring your knees back underneath your hips if you've taken them wide. Make your way onto the belly. Is it nap time? I know I'm not allowed to say that because it's morning, right? Let's bring the forehead to the mat. Bring the legs closer together here. We're going to move into Shalabhasana. We'll start with Ardha Shalabhasana, this half locust pose. Legs are closer together. Bring your arms alongside the body with your backs of the hands making contact with the floor. Pull your shoulders back. So feel like you're trying to touch your shoulder blades together. Your shoulders lift up away from the floor. Press your pubic bone down firmly into the mat. So that flat bone in the front of the pelvis, press it down toward the floor. Inhale, lift your upper body. Keep the upper body relax on the earth. Lift your upper body here. You can press into the backs of the hands to support you here. Lift, lift, lift. Use this beautiful back body strength. And then tuck your chin slightly so the back of the neck can be long here. Breathe. Lift a little higher. I'm waking up a lot of energy here when we do this pose. And then lower it down. Bring one cheek to the mat. Release all muscular tension. Rock the hips a little side to side. And then just let the body be still for a moment. Wonderful. Now we'll move into lower body only. So bring the forehead or the chin to the mat. Arms are still alongside the body with the backs of the hands pressing down. This time we're going to keep the upper body as relaxed as we can. Legs are close together. Press your pubic bone down firmly into the mat as much as you can. And then just lift the lower body now. If the legs are splaying wide here, bring them closer together. You may need a little padding under that pubic bone area. If your mat isn't very thick, lift the legs a little higher and release. Opposite cheek to the mat. Shake it out a little. Or rock it out a little, and then just be still again. Soften your face. Sometimes when we move into back bending or waking up the back body, we'll have these floods of energy start to move through. So just notice what's happening. Beautiful. We'll move into full shalabhasana here, or if you just like to choose upper or lower body as you're working on whatever you're working on, then you're more than welcome to do that. Forehead or chin comes to the mat. Bring the legs close again. And again, your option here is we're going to lift up all the way or just half the body again. Let's start by pressing the pubic bone down so we have this nice support for the low back. And if you're like, you can either have the arms alongside the body, or if you're going to lift up all the way, you can bring the arms up along the ears with the thumbs pointing up toward the sky, with the pubic bone rooting down. We'll lift the whole or maybe just half the body. Back of the neck is long. Ah, beautiful, everyone. Lift a little higher. If the legs are splaying, bring them closer together. Breathe. Powerful, powerful body. Lift a little higher. I'll just stay here for another breath or two if you like. This will be our last time here today. And release it down. Arms alongside the body, palms face upward. Relax. Opposite cheek to the mat. Let it all go. Beautiful. Now that we're a little more warmed up in the back body, we'll take just one round of bow pose. Forehead or chin comes to the mat. Bring the legs closer together. Bend your knees. Reach your right hand back for the outside of your right foot. Your right thumb is pointing down. Reach your left hand for the outside of your left foot or ankle. Your left thumb is pointing down. Now from here, press your pubic bone down and maintain that position so the low back stays lengthened here. With the pubic bone anchored, kick the feet into the hands and allow that to start to lift the body up off of the mat. If you have a lot of space, you can always walk the hands down to the ankles or the shins. Keep kicking the legs or the feet into the hands. Back of the neck is long. Lift the glutes, lift the legs, lift the chest. Breathe. Keep those knees closer together. We're welcoming so much life force energy here. One or two more breaths here. And slowly release, opposite cheek to the mat, arms along the body. Rock the hips a little and then just be still. Oh, beautiful. Bend the elbows, plant the palms with the fingers pointing up toward the top of the mat or the shoulders. Forehead or chin to the mat, tuck your toes under. Press yourself up and let's come all the way up to the knees or the shins here. I'm just going to take a little twist so that we give the low back some relief without overdoing it. So just bring your left hand behind your back, right hand in front of the body. Twist over to the left. And then we'll change sides. Right arm comes behind the body, if possible. Left arm in front, twist. And release. Beautiful. We're going to move into pigeon pose. If you know you have any issues with your knees or your hips that don't allow you to do this, feel free to take figure 4 or reclining pigeon on the back or any pose that you wish. Bring your wrists beneath your shoulders, knees beneath your hips. I'll do it on the other side this time actually. Last time we did it the other way, and I think it might have been a little confusing. So bring your left knee up to your left wrist, and then walk that left foot out so that it comes in front of your right thigh. No knee pain here. If there's knee pain, don't do it. Yeah, stay away from this pose, at least for today. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee, and then start to wiggle yourself back. Wiggle the foot back behind you so your pelvis comes closer to the mat. If either of your hips are lifted here, rather than falling off onto one side or the other, keep your hips square, keep your hips lifted. You can always place something underneath them like a blanket for support, but maintain this nice position in the pelvis. Option to stay here or begin to walk yourself forward. You can use your hands as a pillow, maybe soft fists. Relax your jaw, breathe deeply. Slow, deep breaths. What is something kind you could say to yourself right now? You might feel like your left hip is reaching a little bit for the back left corner of your mat. So there's a little more space created in the left side body. We'll take a couple more slow, deep breaths here. If you're forward, use your hands to slowly come up. Walk your hands in close. Tuck your back toes under. Bring that back foot and knee in closer so that you can bring your left knee back to meet your right. We'll take a few circles in each direction with that left knee. Release it down. Second side. This time, right knee comes up to right wrist. Walk the foot out. So now the foot is in front of the left hip. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee, and then wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So this is creating length on the front side of the body rather than just dropping off to the side. And then again here, keep anything that's lifted. Make it more comfortable if you wish, but let's keep your pelvis where it is, nice and square, hopefully, more or less. option to stay here or come forward. You can use your hands as a pillow. And then again, you can kind of play with this feeling of that right hip kind of reaching to the back right corner of the mat. Slow, deep breaths. Feel your belly, your ribs, your back body expanding as you breathe in, and then maybe a little bit of letting go as you breathe out. Relax any gripping or clenching in the belly, the back, the groin, the face. Soften. Where can you let go a little more? Soften, become more accepting of this moment. A couple more breaths here. If you're forward, use your hands to slowly come up. Tuck your back toes under, bring the back knee in closer. Bring the right knee back to the left. Take some circles with that right knee. Change directions. Bring it down. Rock the hips a little side to side. Come to sit on your glutes. We'll just take a few breaths in a forward fold here. Bring the legs close together. Lift the flesh out from the right hip, drop it down. Lift the flesh out from the left, drop it down. Inhale, reach the arms up, flex the feet. Exhale, fold forward. Relax the hands down. Just 3 slow, deep breaths here. Relax the face. Slowly walk the hands in to roll up the spine. And then make your way down onto the back for Shavasana. Oops. Okay, we're still on. Take the feet wide. Toes pull out to the sides, arms along the body with the palms facing up. Tuck the shoulders under you if that feels good. Chin is slightly tucked. Wiggle the body, shake the whole body, just shake it, shake it, shake it. Wiggle, 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 wiggle everything from the crown of the head to the toes. And then let it all go. Let the body move into stillness. Close the eyes. And for these next moments, rather than reacting the way that we constantly do, practice being the witness. If there's an itch, just let it be. If there's a thought, let it pass by like a cloud. Become the witness, and then even let that go. I invite you to stay here for as long as you like. If you're ready to complete, become aware of the air moving across your skin. Feel the weight of your body held by the earth. Sense the beating of your heart. fingers and toes, mindfully aware. Inhale, reach your arms up along the ears. Stretch, exhale through the mouth. Bend your knees. Roll over onto one side. Slowly come up to a seat with the eyes closed. We'll complete with our closing chant, offering the benefit of our practice to all beings and all of creation. May all be happy and free, peaceful. Palms touch at the heart. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu 3 times. And then Om Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. Inhale. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you. Thank you all for being here and for sharing your practice. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much for your donations. Your donations are greatly appreciated and gratefully received by me and by Insight Timer. Thank you, friends. Thank you all. Thank you. So be kind with yourself. Oh, beautiful, Rika. Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm so glad you joined. How lovely. So we have these sessions regularly. Let me get my phone so I can look at the schedule. My beautiful folks are coming to visit me. So my schedule is a little different. And I'm also going to go be with my beloved Saima for a couple of days. But you can always look at my live schedule that's posted on my profile page. It looks like our next time together, I think, is on Tuesday. Our next time together is, yes, Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have another Vinyasa asana practice like this. And then we'll be together again next Friday. We won't have our satsang next week, unfortunately. And then you can see the rest on my profile page. Thank you all. Thank you. I'm so grateful. So grateful for you. So grateful for our time together as community. May the peace, the well-being, the presence, the self-awareness that we nurture in our yogic practices, whether that be meditation or asana or anything else, may that peace and well-being spread out into our lives and into the world. And if you'd like to stay more connected in any way, there's a website link on my profile page. I think it's under the About tab. If you'd like to stay more connected. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, blessings, blessings to each and everyone. Thank you, I will. Thank you. I'm so glad. I'm so glad, Almost.